Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today you are joining me for what's going to be the first drive of the M340i. I picked this car up about a week ago. I'm so excited about this car. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick walk around of the car. We'll give you a start up and some revs as well, and then we'll head out onto those country lanes and take you for that first drive. So my M340i, which I've had for about a week, it's finished off in oxide grey, which I believe is an individual colour. I really like the way this car has been spec'd. It is obviously a 2021 car, being 71 plate, so it is a used car, but it's new to me. I do like this colour because it's got different shades of grey going off, and I'm going to quickly just talk you through some of the key highlights of this M340i. From the front end, this one has got the visibility pack, so it's got these awesome looking laser lights. All M340i's have this kind of a grille here. It is an active grille, so the vents do open up. This color, I believe they call it cerium. We might do some styling updates in the future. The M340i doesn't have any fog lights. It's got some extra ventage, so but when you got the laser lights, you don't really need fog lights because they're quite bright anyway. We move around the side, we've got these 19-inch 792 alloy wheels. I like the way these are finished off because they're the bicolor. They also have or feature a red M caliper, which is quite nice because I'm just normally used to having blue calipers, so red against the oxide grey doesn't look too bad. And get rid of this bit, we've got Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres, which I mentioned that was the icing on the cake on the last vid. You see we got some M badging in some cerium grey colour there, or cerium colour. Wing mirrors as well, they also finished off in cerium. The M340i does come with like a shadow pack on it already, so where otherwise you normally spec up like a M Sport Plus pack to get all the tinted windows and the high gloss stuff, this already comes with it. Now the M340i is X-Drive, so we've got the X-Drive badging there, M340i logo over there, and with this being an M340i, you do get some trapezium style exhaust tips. You have got real exhaust at the back there. So yeah, overall I am quite excited that I've got an M340i because it does look quite nice and it's quite powerful as well. Before we get into there, this one has got the comfort pack, so you can obviously lock the car, mirrors fold in and unlock it. I am going to disable that. Now the interior of the car is obviously a pre-LCI. I'm on the fence whether I like this or the LCI, but we'll talk more about that in a short while. But being an M340i, I like the way you do get some M340i kick plates, which is quite nice. These are the standard M Sport seats. Yeah, they're quite comfortable, and it does have the 8-speed ZF gearbox. As it has the comfort pack, you do have a heated steering wheel, which is quite good, and there's probably a few other bits and pieces on this car. The main talking point about an M340i, and the reason you go and buy one, is because of that lump. It's BMW's finest B58 TU2 engine, meaning that it produces 374 horsepower, 500 newton meters of torque. It is a single turbo, I believe it's twin scroll, which you can see down there somewhere. But yeah, this is an awesome power plant, probably one of the best BMW engines that BMW have produced in recent times. Of course, it is the B58 TU2, meaning that it has some mild hybrid stuff going on. You've got some purple cables that are running, maybe that's got something to do with the MHT. So that was a quick little walk around of the car. I'm gonna do the full kind of spec talk of this car, probably cover that in a different vid, about the things that I do like about the way this car has been spec'd up and things that probably haven't been spec'd up on this car. I'll do that in another vid altogether, but for now I think what we'll do is we'll give you a start up, some revs, and we head out onto those country lanes for my first drive out there. So here we go. You see this is in comfort mode. Put the car into its Sports Plus mode, you can hear the valves open up straight away. So let me know in the comments what you feel about how this car sounds. My personal opinion is that I think that this car can sound a lot better. Got to understand that the car's made in 2021, so it's peppered with all the EU regulations around emissions and noise and all of that stuff. It's got OPF filters in there, obviously, but I know that this car can sound a lot better than the way this does at the moment. I have got my M4 for like that proper sound, if you can call it that. But yeah, it is what it is, and I'm sure that this car still sounds better than most cars out there right now, especially when we are going towards kind of electric vehicles. But the other thing that I like to point out is that there's no soft limiter, which is a good thing. So straight off the bat, guys, this car feels so comfortable compared to my GTI that I was in. Obviously it feels more comfortable than my M4 F82, and it's just a nice place to kind of be. I mean, you've got that nice straight six engine. I'm in my comfort mode. I'm just kind of doing like 30 odd miles an hour, and the car is very refined. You have got acoustic glass all around as well, which adds to that kind of serene, comfortable feeling, drive, whatever you want to call it. And at times you do forget that, you know, you are sitting in something with 375 horsepower. I mean, this may as well be like a 320 diesel, like the way I had a few years ago in the same G20. But the thing is, it's like you've got small telltale signs. You're looking down at the digital dash and it says it's an M340i. When you prod the throttle, you do get that sonorous 6-cylinder engine sound as well, which, trust me, sounds nice. And yeah, I mean, you've got that kind of mild hybrid stuff going on, so when you are like just coming off the accelerator and you're just coasting, it disengages the gearbox, sometimes even shuts the engine down, which, you know, saves you like a few drops of fuel, which isn't a bad thing in this day and age. But then when you come up to, like, let's say your favorite country lane, you can put it into the full attack mode and literally, like, you know, have a nice drive, which is what we're going to do. The steering does feel sharp in this. I know it's electrically operated and all of that stuff, but it definitely feels sharp. I mean, the car itself weighs around, I'd say 1.7 tons, something like that, but it does feel quite nippy as well. And the way the steering feels, like small inputs to the steering wheel, you can feel the car moving around, which is quite a good thing as well. The 8-speed ZF gearbox is a gem, you know, one of the best in its business, and I think like mated to this B58, it's suited really well to the car. So one thing that's not pointing out is that when you put the car into sport, you do get a few options. So you get standard and you get plus and you got individual. So standard is essentially dynamic setting, plus is extra dynamic setting, and then you got individual and you can configure individual. So just to give you an idea, so if it's in individual, you're trying to configure it, you can do quite a lot of things. So you can put the damping into sport or comfort. It obviously has got adaptive damping on there. You got the steering as well, you can put in sport or comfort. The engine, you've got 3 sort of setups on here. You've got comfort, sport and sport plus, so we whack that into sport plus. And also you've got something on the transmission, sport, comfort and sport plus as well, so keep that into sport plus. So in individual, I've got it on full attack mode apart from damping and steering, because I do like it to be a little bit more comfortable. And again, we're going to put it into these modes when I'm on those country lanes. It is nice to kind of see that, you know, an M340i, you can actually sort of individualize it a little bit in those modes as well. Not a full fat M car, but at least you've got some customization. Do you like these seat belts? Because they've got the M tricolor on it. Now, I've had quite a lot of experience with the B58 in many cars, starting off with my M140i. I've driven many 240i's. I've had the recent whatever it's called, 42 M240i recently on the channel, and the Supra as well. And yeah, this engine performs really well. I'm going to put the car now into my Sport Plus mode. What an engine. know, that surge of torque, the 500 newton meters of torque comes in at just under 2000 rpm, probably even below that, 1.6 I believe it is. The way this thing just pulls you down the road, bloody hell, that is amazing. It's so effortless. It's not annoyingly like aggressive, if that makes sense as well. You get a bit of, like, say, inertia when the car changes gear and stuff. But it is so effortless. Like I say, it's not overly loud. But I'm sure you can make this as loud as you want with like a nice exhaust system on it or something like that. But yeah, I mean, my first impressions on these lanes so far, man, this thing is quick. That gearbox is so smooth, even in its most aggressive mode, Sports Plus on the transmission, it feels really smooth. I mean, you do get that little bit of a kick when it's changing either down or up or whatever it might be, but it is very smooth. I've got the car in Sport Plus mode, which basically means that the suspension is still in Sport Plus, but coming around these kind of twisties and going over some undulations in the road, it didn't ever feel like it was firm, if you know what I mean. So I am hugely impressed, not only by the straight line speed of this car, but how it's behaving on these country lanes. Obviously X-Drive, it is rear biased. I think it's like still about 80% of the power going to the rear wheels and whatnot, and the front ones kick in when you're losing a bit of traction. But the thing is, it gives you confidence, it inspires confidence. I know that you can still rotate the back end of this if you are quite aggressive, but man, what a car this is, and what an engine. And behind the wheel, it actually doesn't sound too bad. I think the best way to kind of put this all into perspective is that this is a comfortable performance machine with enough power and in the right spec. This is pretty much everything. This in a touring form, if that's your kind of thing, would be absolutely incredible. For me, this is perfect. I said earlier on to like some friends that this is probably going to be my last car that I ever buy. Now, time will tell, but in my mind I'm thinking, when it comes to changing, I'm probably going to end up buying another M340i, perhaps in the LCI. I do like the kind of dash design in this. It is fairly classic, if you can say that. Although you've got like a digital display, you've still got, let's say, needles. Obviously the new one's all LCD displays, and you know, the whole dash is completely different. That's not a bad thing either. I am going to be doing content like this, comparing against my F82 back to back performance as well. I mean, this feels quick, no doubt about that. I'm sure that this is probably quicker than my M4 on a launch. It certainly feels like that when you just, like, you know, about to just kind of get off, especially with the traction as well, with four-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive rather. And even in comfort mode, this thing is quick. The turning and the brakes are really good. Obviously, if you turn in quite quick with speed, you are going to let the back end go. But my god, does this thing go. Things flying around in the car as I'm braking. Wow. Wow. I am absolutely amazed how quick this thing is. Guys, if you have enjoyed today's content, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment in the comment section below, and hopefully guys, I'll see you on the next one when perhaps I'll be updating some of the things on this car. Until then, have a good one. Bye.